The woman worked as a sales associate at a department store. She was always the top performer, but her boss still thought she wasn't doing enough. Money was always tight for her. She never went grocery shopping without collecting a pile of coupons first. She was a calm and easygoing person. Her only hobby was watching cooking shows. She loved following along and learning new recipes. But since she was on a diet, she could only let the boy taste the food. While she stuck to her low-calorie meals, she had a secret crush, a guy who also worked at the store as a salesman. To get a chance to talk to him more, she often wandered around the section he was in charge of, and whenever he noticed her, she would pretend she was there to buy an oven. She had a dream journal. Inside were all the foods she wanted to try, the places she wanted to visit, and even a photoshopped wedding picture of her and her crush. But that was all just wishful thinking. Then, one day, her crush came to find her. He invited her to watch a game together. She was so shocked. She lost her grip on the utensils in her hands, and as she bent down to pick them up, she hit her head on a cabinet and blacked out. Her crush rushed her to the hospital. When she woke up, she was already being wheeled in for an MRI scan. The results were so shocking, even the doctor had trouble believing them. She had been diagnosed with a rare disease called Lynch syndrome. The hospital director apologized and told her she only had 3 weeks left to live. She couldn't accept the reality of it. But what made it worse was that the insurance company refused to cover her surgery. They slammed down 2 thick books of policy terms in front of her. Clearly, by the time she finished reading all that, she'd already be 6 feet under. She left the hospital feeling completely defeated. She was heartbroken. She had never even gotten to taste all the amazing food she dreamed of. She had never traveled to the places she longed to see. Tears wouldn't stop streaming down her face. But the next day, she had a new realization. Instead of blowing her entire life savings on surgery, why not spend it all and finally live for herself? So she went straight to the bank, and under the shocked gaze of the teller, she withdrew every last penny from her account. Then she stormed into her boss's office, handed in her resignation, smashed his phone for good measure, and walked out of that department store like a boss. That night, she didn't hesitate to book a flight to the Czech Republic, and by the next day, she was off on the last adventure of her life.